Welcome to DMV Sports Media, also known as Semi, as we expand southward. This is Giovanni on the play-by-play for the evening, and today we find ourselves at Fields at the Renaissance Parks. Tonight we're being treated by Bowleys hosting MSI Pro, one of the newer rivalries in the DMV. The head-to-head is very interesting so far. Bowlesley leads at 2-1 in favor of victories. The markers break down as MSI 4-2 to Bowleys, 3-0 win for Bowleys, and then a 4-3 win for Bowleys Athletics. As we get underway here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share. We just had a match end over at, I want to say it's Mid-Atlantic South. It was Cumberland versus Philly Lone Star. We'll get you the update of that scoreline there. But this is a matchup on our hands here. So we had both teams interview earlier this week on the channel. We had Bowleys on Wednesday where they talked about the importance of this game. They even had one of their younger players, Finney, on here talking about what this game means. And MSI's was the following day, and obviously they're looking at every single match as something very important. In every match, they're looking to take some points home. We should be getting the lineups here for before the walkout, but we'll start with the home side here. Bowleys will start with Austin Hyde in goal wearing the number 17, BP Spheres wearing the number 2, Kyle Dangler in the 15s, Stephen Copeland in 11, Chris Yoakum in number 6, Ben Horgan 18, Carter number 20, Richardson 24, Gawads, goal scorer Gawads from the last game, wearing the number 26, and a first season start for Peter Gonzalo in the number 10, along with Anderson Marquinho in the 19. Substitutes, we'll get through them as they come on board. For MSI, we have Azres, or as he likes to go by, Johannes in the 15, Daniel Gabor 18, Manu in the number 7, Martini in number 6, Makatinyan number 24, McVie in the 28. One of the Neame brothers is back onto the team, as both the brothers missed out on the game last week. It could have been a plethora of reasons, but in the number 10, Nagam, who was a really good shiny light or new addition to this MSI side, didn't find the back of the net, but definitely was aggressive in the number 24. Nachan in 25, Gonzalo Pinheiro in number 12, and Daniel Yee, the engine that is, in the number 13. We should be having lineups here and walk out shortly for the national anthem, and we'll be underway. Looks like there was a speaker. We were wondering if we were going to get the national anthem, but it looks like we are, and teams are lining up here. This match is going to be so important because this is the one match on Bowleys and MSI's schedule where they face each other twice this season. Out of all the games this season, Bowleys is only going to play MSI twice and MSI the same. Every other game is going to be one time. So this could set the tone for what their final game of the season is going to be, where MSI hosts Bowleys on the away side. And here comes the walkout as we get ready to hear the national anthem. Chris Yoakum with the captain's band. It's good to see him return after spending some time being injured. We finally got to see him, or we did get to see him in the last game against DC Hyper, where Bowleys took all 3 points. He came on the later minutes as he was coming off of his injury. And we'll take a pause here for the national anthem. And there we have it as the national anthem wraps up. Hello, everyone in the chat. We have some of the usuals for these Bowleys games. Mr. Reed, Noah Walker. Noah, I hope that game went well. I didn't get to catch the end of it, but I saw it was 7-0 towards the first half, or heading into the second half. Champ, thank you all for tuning in, and hello, hello. Yeah, get some scores in here. Tyler Reed, of course. 5-0 is his prediction, with the scorers being Adams, Gonzalo, Baker, and Taylor. You gotta love it. Captains here in the midfield. Looks like it's going to be Johannes and, as we said earlier, Joachim. Johannes being one of those fixtures in MSI, not the flashiest of players, but always a consistent heartbeat in that middle and always setting pace for his team. We're going to see a little bit of a clash of styles today, as MSI is really big on keeping possession, and Bowleys, if you remember that DC Hyper win, it was a very transitional play. There were moments and stints where they had possession, but they did not mind absorbing it and hitting on the transition. So it's going to be questions to be asked, who's going to fare off better, and then obviously the MSI question is, who's going to be the goal scorer this season? Their first home game and first game of the season, they obviously lost to Toros, 2-0 loss, and it was without. There were opportunities, but never found the back of the net. So we'll see what this MSI side does today as we get ready to take the field, or get ready to kick off. It's going to be Bowleys in the white going from left to right on your screen, and MSI in the green going from right to left as we get ready to kick off this first half. Marquinhos to stand over top of it and get us started here in the 19. Am I crazy, but do I see a 45 on his chest? Oh, no, that's the sponsor. I was losing my mind. And here we go. Away we are as Bowleys starts off the match, and it's getting us started here. It was Dangler to Copeland. Those two, we're going to see quite a few little moments from them, and Chris Joachim blessing us on this side today with the return of the captain, Joachim. And here's Spheres. BP Spheres has been one of those players that was a huge addition to Bowleys. Defensively, he's been sound. I mean, you saw that game against DC Hyper. Well, hope you saw that game against DC Hyper. Bowleys to win the possession. Now here comes Kachar, and almost a turnover, able to keep possession and all the way back to defense. And that's going to be the trademark of Bowleys, is using that back line. Always trustful back line. And here comes Joachim. Joachim gets his pocket absolutely picked, and now what can MSI do? It's Manu. Manu takes his 3 players on, ultimately ended up losing the ball, but gives chase, and then a early foul on Manu. It was Richardson who was the receiver of said foul. And here's the throw in here from Daniel Yee. And now all the way with Gabora. It's MSI now. Daniel Yee to be the outlet, forced to go back to Nachan. Nachan to Gabora. Gabora under pressure from Gawads, takes a touch outward, trying to find Daniel Yee, but under pressure forces a turnover. Bowleys is going to slowly take their time to make their way up, and it's Joachim to get us started to Copeland. Copeland taking his time, and the team does well to keep possession with Richardson finding Dangler. Dangler to Spheres. Spheres all the way back to Dangler again. Kachar. Copeland. That back pairing is one of the calmest back pairings I've seen in the UPSL this season already, even last season. These two really haven't figured out, but Dangler moving it forwards, finding Peter Gonzalo. Gonzalo looking to cut back. Well pressed by Nachan. And possession turned over. Oh, correction. That was Nikitayan. Not Tikiyan, sorry. And then now Daniel Yee is the outlet, has space, has no real pressure, gives the pass and opts to play the through ball, but questions should be asked there. Was Manu ever going to get to that ball? Oh, the nutmeg there, and Bowleys able to keep possession there. That was a cheeky move there by Richardson. And Bowleys keeps possession here. Richardson on the ball. Correction, Horgan to Dangler. Back to Horgan. Horgan being another one of those players that was not on the debut season, or the debut for this season, or the opening game for this season, I should say, against DC Hyper. So might see a little bit of a different personality from this Bowleys squad. Horgan again getting pressed by McVie. McVie was one of those other new fixtures in MSI that really gave them life against that Los Toros sides. And a lovely tackle. Gawaz goes down, and Gabora is going to take a look at this replay here, and it was Gabora who is being called for the foul from that slide tackle. You does see the contact before he hits the ball, and so not a really hard challenge to call right there. Spheres. Gonna give sends in the cross. Can he find his teammate? And keeper comes out, controls it. Pinedo, as confident as always, just comes out and collects. And now Gabora here to get us back underway. This back line for MSI is completely different from their, except with the exception of Daniel Yee. This back line is Nayame wasn't able to collect. Chris Yoakum was. Hyde. Then it's Copeland. Copeland to Yoakum. Yoakum looking for Marquinhos. Marquinhos collects under pressure, and now here we go. Richardson. Good vision from the captain. Dangler to Horgan. Bowleys is keeping a lot more of the possession this game. Austin Hyde is always going to be the calmness his team needs. Dangler tries it, and Manu is there to cut it out. And it gets tangled up with his own teammate. Almost wins the ball back, but from a slide tackle to winning possession, the captain, Chris Yoakum. What a move from Yee. No nonsense in his back line. And high traffic, forced to reset with the back line. Yoakum under pressure. Copeland. Sloppy touch there, but able to keep possession. Now it's Horgan with time and space. Lovely tackle from Daniel Yee. No nonsense there. That's the kind of game he's going to have today. Gotta love it. It's a welcome back, Yoakum. Under pressure, Yoakum wants to get his lick back, so to speak, but it's going to be a throw in here for MSI. A lovely touch. Oh, too much of a lovely touch. Nutmegged himself. And now it's Eric Gawads on the ball through traffic. Forced to cut back, and Dangler to be the one who resets this. Copeland. I do apologize for the wind if you are hearing some, as weather is doing something here. Hopefully nothing. Yoakum in traffic. Forced to go back to Hyde. Looking to the far side. Plays in Kachar. And now Dangler. And Horgan. MSI is doing well to keep Bowleys. While Bowleys is keeping possession, MSI has been able to keep Bowleys here at this 30 to 30 distance here. Richardson to Yoakum. Yoakum forced to go back to Copeland. And now here comes Dangler. Peter Gonzalo looking to fill into space, but the midfield needs a little bit more here. And Copeland looking for Yoakum. Yoakum makes the run. The ball is played. Yoakum's onside. Flag stays down. Can he send the cross? He opts to cut back and finds Gawadz. Gawadz tried the 1-2 with Peter Gonzalo, but that was the end of the play there. It's going to be Piñero to get us back underway here for MSI. Actually, no, he leaves it for Nuchan. Now it's Piñero under no pressure. Number 25, Nuchan. Looks to play in Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee has space and a lovely knuckleball, or Travella as it's called. Austin Hyde all the wise to it. Lovely touch there. Risky move. Marquinhos was smelling that interception. And shaky right there, but team does well to get out. Long ball. Manu's the intended target. Yoakum, the interceptor. And now Yoakum pays the favor. Ioannis to Gabora. Gabora, no rush. Lovely touch there. And now it's Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee to Martini. Martini, another one of those players that was absolutely shining in that first game. Playing out wide. And now Dangler forced to intervene. Ball still with MSI. McVie, can he have one? He cuts back at high traffic and not able to find space there. And forced to go all the way back. And now the reset here. Nachan to Nayame to Gabora, and Gabora's going to look for that long ball for Daniel Yee. Can he get to it? Oh, just a little bit too much there. Daniel Yee and Chris Yoakum have absolutely probably already put in a mile already, and we're only about 15 minutes in, 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in. Almost a uncharacteristic giveaway there, but Horgan composed, finding Yoakum and to Copeland, Copeland to Dangler. This forward line for Bowleys is sitting really high here. It looks like they're wanting that long through ball, and there it is. Peter Gonzalo not able to get to it, but the clearance was not great. Peter Gonzalo plays it to Sveers. Sveers has it in the back of the net, and it's a golazo, his first one for Bowleys. BP Sveers finding the back of the net there, assisted by want to say Peter Gonzalo just minutes before. We'll take a look at here at the replay in just a second. It was a beautiful through, or almost a beautiful through ball. The clearance was shaky. Peter Gonzalo finding BP, and that's all he wrote. 1-0 to Bowleys for the home game. That's BP Sveers who finds the back of the net for Bowleys Athletics And now MSI is looking to climb a small hill so far. But this is how the game against Los Toros went, where they went down early. Can they bounce back? I mean, they showed character that last game. They'll need to do it again. Ooh, lovely move by Yi. Now Manu has a moment, had cuts and shot, and it's going to be Austin Hyde every time with a shot like that. Copeland. And now it's going to be Bowleys here. And now they're definitely not going to be in any rush with this one goal lead. Can't be too comfortable though. Not in UPSL. That could turn very quickly. Noah, I hope I'm your favorite on the mic. No, I'm absolutely joking. Here comes Bowleys again. Gawad's finding Peter Gonzalo. Gonzalo has time and space, but has an overlapping run from Yoakum. Finally sees him. Flag stays down, but the clearance is there. Yi clears it out. And MSI has some breathing room now, but that was a great build-up play. But here we go again. Gawad's to Gonzalo. Gonzalo gets his pockets absolutely picked. Martini not able to get to it, but Horgan sends back in Gawad's, but Pinedo there to clean up the mess. It's great turnout here for today. Love to see all the engagement in the chat. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is our only match for the rest of tonight. We have quite a few games, but we'll get into that in a moment here. As Bowleys is getting put under pressure and MSI not able to capitalize on it. And almost a consolation prize of a corner, but Austin Hyde able to keep it in play. And now it's Dangler. Dangler taken into the space, finding his teammate. And it's a bit of a ping pong game right now, and MSI comes out with possession just to give it away. And then here comes Horgan. Horgan looking for Yoakum. Yoakum to open up and finding his teammate, Marquinhos. Not able to get to it. Pinedo was able to collect there. Martini with plenty of space there. Opts to play out wide. Matikian. Oh, a lovely ball to McVie, but McVie just a few steps too early. Called offsides there. Dangler to Copeland. And Yoakum here. Back with Dangler. Dangler. Bowleys was able to break through that through Richardson. Richardson keeping possession. The goal scorer, Spheres. That looked like a handball, but I think the referee just called it out of bounds. Kachar gets tangled up there, able to find his way out. Richardson under a lot of pressure. MSI wins possession. McVie with Horgan on his heels. Oh. Johannes tried to spin, but not able to get it off. But Daniel Yi there to bail him out. Now all the way back to Gabora. Nachan. Johannes, sorry. Now McVie really deep, finding Nayama. Nayama to Martini. Martini playing it out wide. Montigian playing it back to Gabora. This is a good possession for MSI, but again, that final third, the ever elusive final third for the MSI team. Bowleys get us back on our way. Copeland. This is where MSI needs to press them. I know there's so much time, but you have to press Bowleys. Cannot allow them to build character and personality, because then that's when they shine. Noah loves the engagement in the chat. I'm sorry, I cannot pay attention as much as I would like to in the chat. I know Tyler Reed is dropping some absolute bombs, but this game is back and forth. Horgan to win possession back for Bowleys is Eric Gawadz. Deeper than usual. Beats the first defender, but not able to get past the second. Pasveer's there to bail him out. And now Bowleys back on the front foot, forced to go back to Dangler. Dangler, time and space, sees Yoakum, thinks about it, opts to not send it, and plays closer to Horgan. Horgan takes the space. Horgan asking for someone. Under pressure, McVie could win this possession. Forces an error, but ends up just being a Dangler ball. Bowleys in possession. MSI sitting a little deeper than you would want if they're trying to press here. And Bowleys absolutely spread out. There's so much space that they have. And a ball to Marquinhos. Marquinhos forced to drop deep, and Peter Gonzalo as well. And now Horgan to Dangler and back to Horgan. It's a lovely little piece of play there to go around Nayame. Copeland sends the through, but miscommunication there, and it's a throw in for MSI. Victor Bravo, welcome. Surprised you're not out here, or you might be, and I just haven't seen the substitutions. Peter Gonzalo on the ball, finding Marquinhos. Marquinhos to Yoakum. Yoakum gets his pocket picked by McVie. McVie, with a lovely little soul roll, gets brought down. It's going to be Daniel Yee to get us back underway, and it's Martini to Gabora. Nachan getting himself in a bit of trouble there, able to find a way out, but a little close, playing the dangerous game. And then a long ball for Manu, and nowhere near him. Austin Hyde to give chase. Yoakum to Copeland. Copeland to Hyde. Said that 1,000 times. Covering this team for so long. Copeland, uncharacteristic giveaway for Dangler. And now it's going to be a throw in for MSI in a very good area. The throw in here. MSI somehow sneaks his way through, but clearance from Dangler. Yama was the intended target. Now it's another throw in here. Long throw in here. Can McVie be found? No, Horgan can. But Martini does well to keep possession. Another opportunity for MSI. Can MSI send in the cross? Tries to beat two defenders, but Sphere's just too good of a defender to allow that to happen on his watch. But MSI does well to win possession back. Martini. And Bowleys ends up winning possession, and now MSI, can they get caught flat-footed? Beautiful ball. Now it's Peter Gonzalo. Peter Gonzalo does have 3 defenders to beat. Marquinhos tried to make the run, but Peter ends up holding possession, finding Yoakum. Yoakum sends in the cross. Intended target was Peter Gonzalo, but not able to connect there. And now McVie wins possession, but just as quickly loses it. Lovely work from Horgan. Horgan back to Yoakum. Yoakum plays Marquinhos. Marquinhos can send it in. Opts to take a little bit of a touch, but Chan there to clear it up. And now it's going to be a corner for Bowleys. It's going to be Richardson to step it up for Bowleys Athletic. Somehow that ball was found in the darkness. Richardson. Position himself, looking to send in the corner. So many targets in the box for him. Sends it in. Can he find his teammate? Almost finds the back of the net. That was Dangler. That could have been his first. Spheres has another one, and there's goal number 2 off of the rebound and catches it right. Just beat everyone. Caught the keeper by surprise. Pinedo had no idea where he was as his view was obstructed, and VP Spheres took no second chances. Just had it hit off the post. A little bit of bounces back and forth. Took a touch and absolutely ripped it to get past Pinedo. It's a 2-0 for BP Spheres. And now MSI is looking for a mountain to climb, or is looking at a mountain to climb. Hello to everyone as they're coming on in. Text the door. Pleasure, pleasure. Tyler Reed, I'm sure you're having a great time. Jaden, Nick Star, welcome, welcome. All right, MSI's get us back underway with Martini. There's gonna be some questions to be asked of this midfield. They need to keep the possession. It's not been. They had a good stint of possession in that first half, but didn't really lead to anything. They need to get a little bit more threatening, a little bit more vertical here. The worst part is that you have to beat a keeper like Austin Hyde to find the back of the net. Not an easy task. And Chan to Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee, one of the positive fixtures here for MSI. Gabora playing it out wide. Lovely idea. Martini finding Neame. Neame trying to find McVie, but cut out by Copeland. Copeland to Peter. Peter losing possession. Daniel Yee finding his teammate, winning the possession back for MSI and finding Gabora under a lot of traffic there. It's going to be Gabora to take his time scanning the field. Get a little bit more movement off the ball for this MSI side. Daniel Yee, lovely touch. Has time to spend, he sends in the cross. Copeland all the wise to it, but the threat has not passed. And Chang to Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee uncharacteristically gives it away, but Martini's there to bail him out. Now it's Nachan again. Finding Johannes. Johannes to Gabora. Keeping possession here in front of the 50. This is good pressure for MSI. Johannes. Seeing Daniel V through all that traffic, gets the ball to him. Now it's Daniel V with space. Daniel Yee, sorry. Back to Johannes. Playing it out wide. And now the pressure seems to have died down a little bit as MSI scans to find a gap here. McVie not able to keep it, but his team is bailed out. Neame with a rough touch turns it over, and now Bowleys returns the favor. And it's an MSI throw in here. A BP brace. That sounds like a tagline for something. Johannes tried to get to it, not able, but now it's Dangler. Dangler takes the touch outward. Not able, correction, not Dangler. That was Richardson. Took the touch outward, not able to keep it in possession there. Piñero gets us back underway quickly. Machan. To Martini. Martini to Gabora. Gabora taking his time, but pressure has arrived. Then Machan. Gabora voicing his authority. Manu absolutely unmarked here. Yoakum does know he's there, but that could be an outlet here on this far left, or far right, I'm sorry. The through ball that never made it. Neame was the intended target, hit off the foot of one Horgan. And now MSI with possession here. Martini. Martini looking for McVie. McVie not able to receive it as Dangler able to cut it out. And now here is Bowleys to wind down some of this time on this clock for this first half. Chris Yoakum under pressure from Manu, able to keep possession. Horgan to Yoakum. Yoakum looking for the long through for Peter Gonzalo. Peter Gonzalo off to the races, gets it, but a sloppy touch there, forcing a goal kick. That's that preseason or off-season rust. Very uncharacteristic of Peter Gonzalo. Now MSI to get us back underway. Gabora. And here is a little bit of directional play, and McVie liking what he's seeing, forcing Dangler to hit it out of bounds, but that was a very vertical play, and McVie loving it. Nayama gets tangled up, able to keep possession. Johannes losing possession to Peter, but is there to try to muster the possession back, and it's Daniel Yee who wins it back for his team. Nayama. Lovely turn under a lot of pressure. Now it's Manu. Manu has time. Pressure finally arrives and forced to go back to Johannes. Gabora taking the space. Martini finding Nayama. Nayama thought about it, opted to cut back. Now it's McVie to Manu. Manu had to take that touch to the outside. It should have been to the outside, but old habits died hard. When you try to find your favorite foot, you're always going to take the touch that way, but it should have been to the outside. You're kind of kicking yourself if you're Manu. Had to take it. But you move as a team. Oh, no, I'm hungry. Stop it. Talking about Chipotle. Can you believe them? Here comes Bowleys as they get restarted. This isn't the usual home for Bowleys Athletics. They usually play at Eastern Regional, but today we made our way down the road, kind of, to the fields at Renaissance Park. A win tonight, they can boast that they are undefeated at the Renaissance. A lovely ball to Spheres, but a unlucky touch or sloppy touch Sees it out for a throw in for MSI. Some in the chat would love to see a hat trick. Chan sees Daniel Yee, finds Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee with a lovely touch to Manu. Manu this time gets it right, but a block from Copeland. Daniel Yee, what a player. Rips it, that's a lovely shot, but Austin had hands and eyes all the way through. It's a good look for MSI, but you're going to need a few more here. Under pressure, but Austin Hyde, the calmest of keepers, finding Yoakum. Yoakum to Marquinhos. Marquinhos puts Yoakum in a very tricky situation, but is bailed out by his team. Copeland hits it out of bounds. It's going to be Nayama to Manu. Manu, shouts of a handball there, but referee says play on. Giannis out wide. Matikian to Gabora. Gabora to Nichan. And now MSI is back to searching for the gaps. Yi to Giannis. Giannis forced to go back to Yi. Yi opts to take the touch and now finds space. Sends in the cross. Hyde off his line and cuts out the ball, which was intended for McVie. So a good decision from Daniel Yee to take that touch and play the line versus cycling it back. Yeah, John absolutely getting miles above Marquinhos. Giannis to Nichan. Nichan keeping possession. Still keeps possession. Martini to McVie. And this ball movement from MSI is looking good. Giannis knows Daniel Yu's making that run. A lovely ball to Nayama. Nayama, can he find a little bit of space? Lovely ball work to give him some. Sends himself across, but Hyde all over that. Hyde opts to go long. Gabora forced into action. Kachar, haven't seen him in quite some time, as MSI has been the one keeping possession. Daniel Yee carrying it, leaves it for Manu. Manu reacted just a little bit late there, but Bowleys does well to keep possession, or get possession. Marquinhos with a lovely ball right there. Tries to beat the second defender. Wasn't able to, but that touch was so clean. Just to flick it over and beat the first defender. Richardson forced to go back to Copeland. And now Dangler's involved. And Peter Gonzalez with a lovely touch, finding Yoakum. Yoakum has so much time, sends in the cross, and well defended. Yee does it on both sides. And now here comes Copeland. Copeland under pressure, and Nayama trying to win the ball. And Giannis does a lovely little piece of work there to bail his team out. Forced to give the ball up, but it's a lovely little piece of work there. Copeland, Kachar. Oh, great tackle from Nayama. Nayama keeps possession. Needs to pick his head up and find his team. He's not able to. There's 4 defenders around him immediately as soon as he wins possession. Gawadz. Gawadz to Peter. Peter to Richardson to Spheres. Spheres has to send in the cross. Does. And Pinedo there to collect. And now it's Daniel Yee on the counter. Can they rush? And they opt to cut back. Yee looking for McVie. Austin Hyde off his line. All the Wise to it. Now it's Dangler. Reed Elias is, I believe he's sick, if I'm not mistaken. Or injured. Can't recall. I remember someone saying something about that. But one of the Neyama brothers is back. Oh, big tackle here from the Chan. Fouls given to Marquinhos. Oh, I guess he's on the bench. I was wrong. Bowleys to get us back underway. Horgan to Copeland. Copeland. Horgan finding Richardson. Richardson with a lovely little move there. Chris Yoakum keeps possession. That was such a clean tackle. Just enough to force the out of bounds. Not enough to win possession. A lot of traffic here, but Bowleys does well to keep possession. Peter comes out to bail out his team, and the two number sevens get tangled up there. Referee says play on. Neyama tried to beat Copeland, but Copeland gets the better of the two. Now here comes Bowleys, wasting no time and looking to move forward. That might have hit that player's head, but we move. Martini under pressure from Gawadz. Goes out. No, it stays in, and MSI finally now gets the throw in here. It's Martini who wins it for his team. Neyama's intended target for the throw in. Not able to keep possession, and now here comes Bowleys. Richardson. He won the ball for his team. Correction, that was Horgan. Won the ball for his team. Copeland takes the space that McVie gives him. Finding Skachar. Now to Gonzayo. Gonzayo looking for Gawadz, but not able to find him. Dangler to Yoakum. Yoakum looking for Gonzayo, but Pinedo there to collect. And now here comes MSI with Kabora. Bowleys has really kind of been growing into, although they're winning by 2, don't get me wrong, but they took their foot off the gas, but slowly they're starting to put it back on as you see MSI having less and less of the possession. Foul given to Bowleys. I want to say Antikian, the player that the foul was called on, the infringer, I should say. And Austin Hyde, Neyama thought to make the pressure, but Horgan there to bail him out. Bowleys here. In no rush. A 2-goal win or lead going into the second half. 42 minutes that have been played. We're in no rush. Should be MSI that should be on the pressure, trying to get one back before this second half. Nachan does well to keep possession, forced to go back to Pinedo. Pinedo getting pressed by Gawadz, playing it to Johannes. Johannes then finding Manu. There's a one-on-one with Yoakum. Opts to cut in. Finding McVie, but McVie gets surrounded. And now it's Gawad's fierce. Lovely ball there, but MSI gets the better of the team. A big tackle there. Nayama not able to get the possession back. And now here comes Bowleys. A big through ball here for the brace. Looking for the hat trick. It was fierce on the run. Did get the cross into Marquinhos, but Marquinhos wasn't able to. But now here comes Richardson. Richardson thinking about it, thought about it, opted to go to Gonzalo. Gonzalo doing a little bit too much there, and now it's Manu. Can Manu break away from Gawad's? Should have let go of the ball a little bit earlier to McVie. Finally has a shot, but it was always going to be an Austin Hyde save right there. Held the ball just a little bit too long. McVie was there. He opened up, gave him the space, but for Bowleys defenders, that's a tough ask right there. Martini finding McVie. McVie opts to go to Daniel Yee, and Peter Gonzalo almost turns it over for the team, ends up turning it over. Referee says, I see it. Called a foul here for Daniel Yee, as he could be intentionally, unintentionally got his feet tripped up, tied up with Peter Gonzalo as he was chasing. And now Bowleys gets his back underway with Yoakum to Dangler to Horgan. And now Bowleys keep in possession as we enter the last 30 seconds of regulation, and we'll see how much stoppage time the referee adds, although I don't think it should be much, as we've seen maybe 2 fouls this half, no yellow cards, no injuries. We did have 2 goals in the celebration, so maybe a minute or 2. Manu winning possession now is Nayama. Nayama seeing McVie. McVie has time. Flag stays down. Giannis takes his time, has a shot, and it wraps around, but Hyde saw it through all the way through, and that was it. The referee calls it. That's the end of the half. No time given there for any additional play. Referee deemed that the 2 goals and the celebration and everything was not worth the additional time. So we're going to go into a break here, but first we're going to have a little bit of talk of what's going on across the league. But first we want to give a little shout out to all the sponsors for Bowleys Athletics, Eastern Regional, and Stretch Painting. We appreciate you. Without your patronage, this wouldn't be possible. And for all those sponsors listening and you are interested, we have space. Appreciate it. Thank you. We have space, and if you're interested, we would like to collaborate with you and work with you and spread the good word about your business. All right, let's do a little bit of table talk. So let's take a look at the table here, the standings, I should say, for the DMV North. So standing last week we had quite a few matchups. Obviously the one big sign here is the game that was postponed for Virginia Dreams in Hud City, right? That was Hud City's debut into the UPSL. Virginia Dreams first game back from the spring season, not able to happen. But we did see quite a lot of action. I mean, we saw Bowleys head to DC Hyper, the Maryland Soccerplex, a historic venue, to go there and get all 3 points from the return of DC Hyper, which there's a lot of buzz around that. And then Arlington an upset loss at Dorados. It was a 3-2 win for Dorados. It was a huge win for Dorados. A lot of people had Dorados counted out, but they early on got the lead, didn't relinquish it. Or Arlington tried to fight their way back and almost did, but Dorados did enough to hold off. And then, as I mentioned, Los Toros going to MSI, Albert Einstein High School, and taking all 3 points. It was a great win for Los Toros, but MSI did show a lot of character as they went down early on, fought. Los Toros ended up getting a second goal, and MSI finally, towards the later half of the game, finding one goal. So it was a 2-1 loss for MSI. And then the only match of the last weekend that was not covered on DMV Sports Media was Bridge Sports versus Moco, and that was a 3-0 win for Bridge Sports. And you will see some of Bridge Sports and Moco as we may not be covering them, but they are playing some of the teams we are covering. But as the table stands, Bridge Sports is on goal differential. So much to play for still. But Bridge Sports stands at the top spot. Bowleys, Dorados, Los Toros. Those are the teams that got some points from the weekend. Arlington, MSI, DZ Hyper, and Moco probably feel hard done. But it's week one, or that was week one. This is week two. So much game to play, and in this division, every weekend's going to matter. Every weekend's going to be like a playoff game because this is the best of Virginia and the best of Maryland going head to head. Now let's take a look at some of the matches that are coming up that will be covered on the channel. We'll talk a little bit about DMV South as well, because we do have Alexandria United on DMV South, and Alexandria United will host Blue Ridge right now. I'll get you the updated standings in the South, but we'll have Alexandria United on Saturday the 29th at 8:30. Then we have MSI hosting Bridgeports, which that is a huge game. There's a lot of history between those two teams. They've encountered each other plenty of times in the postseason, and one of the two have it's kind of flip-flop. So if MSI has sent Bridgeport home, Bridgeport has sent MSI home. Though this is a regular season game, but a very important game. 7:30 kickoff, Albert Einstein High School on Saturday. And then you look on Sunday. Sunday we have action-packed game. Hud City finally opening up their season against Dorados at 2 p.m. Then Arlington, Los Toros, which that is a good game. That is a good game for so many reasons, whether it's the group chats, whether it's the on the field rivalries. That is a game to watch. And that is going to be at Thomas Jefferson at 5 p.m. And Meridian High School, Virginia Dreams Fort. That's 7 p.m. Bowleys Athletics to make the hike down there. And there's some history there, as Austin Hyde was a keeper for Virginia, so there's some familiarity there. But all those are the games that will be featured this coming weekend on DMV Sports Media, aka Semi. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. And let me check in the chat before we take a little break here, Dono, because I'm assuming there's a lot of people here. Riz Soccer, what happened to MSI? Welcome in, Riz. We appreciate the coverage you do to DMV. We definitely do appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share it. Tyler Reed. Yeah, you're a funny guy. We're going to take a quick break here as we wait for the second half. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and we'll see you here for that second half in just a few minutes. Welcome back to DMV Sports Media, also known as Semi. We are getting ready to get kicked off here for the second half of Bowleys versus MSI. First half, you may or may not have saw, but we had 2 goals for one BP Spheres. I was going to try to pull them up, but you know what? Let's play it safe. BP having himself a brace this game. One was assisted by Peter Gonzalo, and that was the opening goal, and then the second was a banger. He caught it off some bounces in the box, and one touch set himself up and absolutely ripped it to the back of the net, absolutely catching Pinheiro off, not prepared to make that dive. And now MSI is looking to climb a mountain for 45 minutes to get some points here to rain on the parade of Bowleys Athletics. MSI in the green on your screen, going from left to right. Bowleys Athletics in the white, going from right to left. I definitely just call it MSI Athletics. MSI Pro is what I meant to say. Before we kick off here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment. We'll try to get to some comments here in the chat. I know Noah's doing a great job engaging, and we appreciate him for it. And we're on as MSI gets us started here. MSI is going to have to do a little bit of work here to try to get something out of this game. Tyler Reed in the chat. I just love DMV Sports Media, and we appreciate you for it. And Bowleys quickly wins possession here, and it's Daniel Yee winning back possession for MSI, and just as quick giving it up. And now it's Peter Gonzalo taking the space. And I'll get you confirmation to see if we've seen any substitutions for either or team. I don't see any thus far. But I will get any confirmation. Now it's going to be Dangler here. To Spheres, the brace holder. You know, he would want himself a hat trick here. It's going to be Dangler forced to go all the way back, and as I do a scan here, I do not see any substitutions. All 22 players that stepped off at the first half stepped back on, and now here comes Bowleys under pressure. MSI doing well to force it, but Bowleys keeping composure and finding their way out. Dangler finding Horgan forced to go out wide to Qatar. Spheres forced to go back, and MSI does well to keep Bowleys in their half. And MSI with Naame wins possession, but quickly loses it. And there's a foul given in favor of Bowleys. Ref not liking what she saw. A little too much hand slapping there. And now Dangler to quickly get us started with Gawad's. Gawad's forced to go back. And the ball is played to Copeland. Copeland looking for that long ball. It should be noted that the wind is picking up, and it is going against Bowleys, and that direct pass that Bowleys has been looking at is not going to work as clean as half. McVie. Actually, there has been a substitution for MSI. It looks like number 26, Francis Myers, has made his way on, and I'll get confirmation of who. And also, Nigam has made his way on for MSI. It looks like I'll get you confirmations of who has come off. Oh, sorry, Nigam has always been on. That's my bad. Matiki Yang has made his way off the field, made way for Meyer. Now Martini with Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee losing possession to Peter Gonzalez. This is the second time that's happened. And Richardson keeping it from a great tackle. And now it's going to be a throw in here for Bowleys Athletics. A little mix up there, and Peter Gonzalez comes out, and a little bit of a collision there with Daniel Yee. Ref says that's Bowleys quarters, or a Bowleys Athletics throw in. We are in Bowleys quarters, if you were wondering. So where the name Bowleys Athletics comes from. I think it's getting a little physical on that far side between Manu and Chris Yoakum. Throw in from Daniel Yee, only to find Chris Yoakum. Keeps the ball in play. Tried to play in McVie. McVie somehow gets it to Neyama. Neyama takes a heavy touch, but gets there. And, oh, side netting. That was a great opportunity for MSI. Neyama probably would want that just a few seconds back, as he wanted to get that cross off to find McVie, who was making that run in the middle of the box there. But when he had it, he intended for the cross, mishit it, and it hit the side netting there. I was almost going to scream goal. It looked like a goal. What's that saying? Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck. Yeah, it wasn't a duck. Here's the cross from Neyama, only to find Dangler, but Myers keeps it in. And a lot of pressure, a lot of heavy traffic he went into, and turned over for Bowleys Athletics. Gawad's carrying, finding Peter Gonzalez, does well to find Peter Gonzalez. Now it's Peter. Daniel Yee to stand him up. Cuts in. It's still Peter Gonzalez finding Marquinhos. Marquinhos keeping possession, and there's the turnover to Nagam. Nagam gets it back, and lovely little battle here between those two. It was Veers who ends up with possession. Chris Yoakum to Horgan. Horgan back to Yoakum. The Bowleys boys keep possession, but Neyama does not let his foot off that pressure. Wins his team a throw in. A throw in for Daniel Yee. Looked like it came off of a Bowleys players, but it doesn't matter. It's still with MSI. Nagam plays in. Johannes can send in the cross. Does. Not able to find someone, but Neyama with the heroic run, not able to keep it in play. Manu was there and was unmarked, but the service was just a little bit too much, and it went out of bounds. Here's a throw in for Bowleys. Peter Gonzalez does well to keep possession, and 1, 2, 3 defenders was too much for Gonzalez. Great interception for Marquinhos, but not able to collect it. Nachan is there for MSI, finding Daniel Yee. Daniel Yee trying his best to keep it in, and does, but not in possession. Daniel Yee again. Manu is there, plays it to McVie. McVie gets too much pressure under him. I'm sorry, that was Myers. Meyer. Peter Gonzalez does well to win that off of that heavy touch, and as Marquinhos tries to play it back into Peter Gonzalez, but Cabora's there, and Nagam forced to quickly. Keeper Pinheiro looked a little upset there with Nagam played him the ball and turned around. He had to keep looking at him in case he needed that outlet. Nagam there getting tied up, but Spheres coming out with the ball, and now it's Dangler. Horgan. That 28-26, so McVie and Meyer gets me so tied up right there. Dangler does well to keep moving forward, does end up losing possession, and it's Johannes to McVie. McVie plays it out wide to Nagam. Nagam, can he send in the cross? He does, but no one's home. No one's there to hit it back in. There were some runs being played in, but just a little bit too slow. But McVie finds it in the back of the net. It goes. It comes off the foot of Manu, and he just takes a touch and puts it past Austin. Austin did not have time to react, but there it is, the goal number 1 for MSI coming from McVie. The cross comes in here, and Manu just takes a quick little touch. It does take a little bit of a deflection from a Bowleys defender. I didn't quite see who it was, but at the end of the day, McVie's reaction finds the back of the net for MSI. Now MSI sees points, potential points on the board. A one goal game isn't too far off from becoming reality. And Bowleys, how will they respond? MSI finally finding themselves a goal, but Bowleys could respond here. Opts to go very direct, and this battle between Daniel Yee and Peter Gonzayo has been one to watch. And here's Eric Gawatz. Gawatz gets absolutely taken out by Daniel Yee. Obviously winning the ball first. That's why there was no foul called, but handshake was given between the two players, and now there's a player down for Bowleys Athletics. It looks like it's Richardson. I want to say it's Richardson. Yeah, it is. Number 24. Looks like he must have got his shoulder knocked up somewhere. Referee plays in the ball with Meyer. Meyer to Gabora. Gabora to Nachan. Nachan with time and space opts to go forward. Now here comes Daniel Yee, forced to go back to Martini. Martini. Nayama making the run. Opts to go with Meyer. Meyer to Gabora. Gabora is carrying it and plays it in for Nagam. Nagam keeps it in somehow. It does ultimately go out of bounds. Spears, who throws it in for Bowleys. Bowleys is so great when there's so much pressure. They can play the ball in close quarters. I say that and I jinx them, but they've done so well this game to when there's high traffic and a lot of pressure in a specific area, they do well to play it out. And now here's the race between Nachan and Marquinhos. Marquinhos cuts in to give himself a little space, try to cut out again, and here comes a shot from, I want to say it was Marquinhos. A correction, it was Richardson who came seemingly out of nowhere. The bounce off of the defender, didn't hesitate, just had a shot, and now the back of the net, and Pinheiro is absolutely not pleased with himself right there. But here, let's take a look at that replay. Here comes Marquinhos when he tried that additional touch, hit off of, I want to say that was Daniel Yee, and Richardson just did not hesitate, saw the bounce, had the shot, and it's a 3-1 game. And this is Bowleys' response to MSI's goal. Now MSI, again, is looking at that hill or mountain to climb again. Yeah, thank you, Noah, for dropping a little bit of knowledge there. McVie was a player at Bethesda. There's some substitutions here for Bowleys. I'll get you who came off and who came on. It looks like Marquinhos came off and Yoakum has come off the field as well. And I'll get you who substituted him on. Looks like it was Bryce Baker for Marquinhos and for Chris Yoakum. I'll get you the confirmation of who that is in a second. It looks like it's one Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams. It's funny. A shot, but no direction, really. And you see the frustration from McVie, but it does look like I do hear a little bit of noise in the background that I'm not really excited for. Richardson, the goal scorer. And look, it actually was Horgan who stepped off for Bryce Baker. It wasn't Richardson. I do apologize for the confusion there. Peter Gonzalo has to be offsides there and is immediately as soon as Peter went for the ball. The flag went up. We play on. MSI gets it started with Nachan. Referee blew the whistle back. Not quite sure. Didn't like that restart. Martini now. Playing to Gabora. Gabora to Nachan. Nachan looking at Gabora again. The two playing the ball between them to see which spaces open up. Daniel Yee forced to go back to them. And Nachan plays a through ball, almost finding his teammate. Manu keeps possession, has a shot. Austin Hyde to make the save. Now Mayer not able to connect properly, but that was a good opportunity for the team coming from just pure hustle for Manu. And there's the attempt from Mayer and not able to connect properly. Austin Hyde might have been beat right there had he connected properly. Dangler now. Spears looking for Baker. Baker not able to get to it. Nigam losing possession, and now it's back with Bowleys, but Gabora's there. McVie. Now it's Gabora. Gabora try to play Nayama. Nayama not able to get a touch. He wanted to flick it on for McVie, but to no avail. So interesting bounce there. Copeland. Copeland looking to go direct to Peter Gonzalo. Gonzalo sees Spears absolutely with space, but Myers there. Tried to play in Baker, but not able to connect with him, and it's Pinedo who comes out to collect. Machan. To Martini. To Yee. Yee thought about it. Forced to go back. Peter Gonzalo goes down. Does look like Peter might be calling it a night. Slowly getting up. Manu, but the flag goes up and offsides. And Peter Gonzalo is done for the evening. Stepping off and making way for, get you who that is here in a second. I'll get you who came on here in a second. Long ball. Hayden Liam steps in for Peter Gonzalo. Pinheiro almost sets up Gabora, but luckily there was no Bowleys players around, and now Gabora forced to go back to Nachan. Nachan to Johannes. Mayer making his way down. Under pressure from Gawadz. Finding Nayama. Nayama keeping the ball, but finally brought down. And Dangler, all the wise, grabs the ball. Johannes leaves it for Martini. Martini is going to be the orchestrator. Martini setting up the cross here. Gonna look to go far post here. That is the bulk of where the players are. Sends in the cross, plays it close, and a bounce, and almost finding that back post, but Mr. Hyde all the wise to it. I thought my vision has absolutely been shot because Horgan's still in the field. There's Richardson. So who stepped off for Baker? Kachar? No, he's still in the field. Sorry, I'm trying to get some confirmations here. Maybe it was Marquinhos. Either way, there's a shot on from Mayers. Riz Soccer in there doing what Riz Soccer does. Long ball for Liam, sorry. And Bowleys Athletics keep possession, but just as quickly losing it and somehow reclaiming possession here, but it's Myers who wins it back for MSI, and it's Nachant who plays it close to Johannes. Johannes asking for the runs, but it's McVie who comes to collect, and Manu was the intended target. Eric Gawadz losing the duel between him and Gabora. Referee obstructs the play and calls it back for Martini. Indirect here. And play on. Giannis plays it out wide for Nigam. Nigam is not able to keep possession. Baker off to the races, but Pinheiro is there. Gabora. Giannis. Giannis plays it in for Manu. McVie offsides on the rebound from the defender. McVie not happy about that, but there is a substitution here for Bowleys. Looks like it's going to be Wessa and two midfielders coming on. Now Richardson and Kachar stepping off. And it's going to be Wessa making his way onto the field. And I'll get you the second substitution here. I'll get you confirmation here in a moment. Hassan, number 3, and Wessa in number 21. Copeland looking for Wessa, not able to. It was Giannis who wins possession. Martini finding Neyama. Neyama under a lot of traffic. Lovely little spin move there to free himself up. Is Daniel Yee finding Giannis playing it to Martini. Martini looking for McVie and somehow ends up at the feet of McVie after some deflections here. Nigam was the intended target there. It was Gabora who comes out and bails out his team. MSI back in possession. Neyama tried to get that touch under control, but it was hit out of bounds by Bowleys Athletics. Now Gabora quickly taking it. A heavy pass, but Manu able to get to it, forcing Adams to hit it out of bounds. A lot of MSI players slunched over there. Fatigue is starting to play a factor here, as we are 70 minutes into this MSI Bowleys affair. There's a substitution here. I'll get you confirmation of who came on in the number 16. Shali Marion, sorry. Shali Marion. Gabora. Nachan beating out Bryson Baker. Shali Mariam finding Nachan, who never went back to his defensive post. Nigam looking for an outlet, finds one, and the team was forced to cycle back to Gabora, and Gabora's looking at Daniel Yee for some respite. Finds Yee with the space. Neyama checks in. He forced to go back to Giannis. Gabora. Salim Marion. Martini, who's absolutely put in a shift. You can see the fatigue is starting to wear down. Daniel Yee, the sports engine. The engine who could. Chan finding Martini. Salim Mariam gives it away. This is that adjustment to the speed of the game that needs to happen. Thank you for the clarification, Marquinhos for Baker. Oh, a big save from Pinedo, or reaction from Pinedo. And now the long pass here. Nigam not too happy with that communication there. And Bowleys forced to send it down the field. Pinedo's going to be forced to interact here. Exposing himself. Baker's thinking about it. Salim Mariam finding his teammate, getting the ball back, and now Martini losing possession there. It was Myers who was asking for it. Manu winning the ball, and now it's quickly. I didn't even get a chance to say the name before losing possession. Neyama does get the ball back. Finding Daniel Yee to Martini under pressure. Two defenders, wins the foul here. It was Hassan who was called for the foul. Daniel Yee looking for someone in the box, only to find Hyde. And now it's going to be Austin Hyde to take his lovely old time. Spears absolutely jetting down this sideline, beats Gabora, and Marion coming in with the slide tackle, absolutely winning it in a very, very delicate situation there that could have gone south, but too confident in his abilities, and the ball goes out for a corner. It's going to be Wessa who is going to be the orchestrator here. This is a good opportunity for Bowleys as Wessa, calling in his teammate, sends in the cross, and Gawad's try to be cheeky, does end up getting the ball again. Watts ultimately has the shot, but sends it sky high. Now it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game for a new ball. Pinedo is going to get us back on our way here. Thank you to all who are tuning in. 15 minutes left in regulation. We'll see how much stoppage time is added, although I would assume very little, as we haven't seen much stop and play here. Looks like there's going to be another substitution here for MSI. Gabora. Slee Merriam to Giannis. Giannis checking his shoulder. Hassan all over him, but able to keep possession. And now plays it out wide to Yi. Yi has space. Wessa, the first defender to engage. Now it's McVie. McVie beats the first defender. Not able to get past Copeland. Correction. That was Hassan. Came back. That's going to be a throw in here, a substitution. It looks like it's going to be Nagam who comes off, and number 11 for Austin Hyde. That's just typical collection. Nothing too worrisome for Austin Hyde, and it was Justin Barnes who stepped on, wearing the number 11. It's Barnes to receive, and just a heavy pass there to Giannis. And a great move. Bowleys loses possession. Now, Manu wins and beats Hyde on the one-on-one after some sloppy defending from Bowleys. Manu just had Hyde to beat, plays around him, and does find the back of the net, and it is a 2-3 game for MSI. Take a look here at the replay. You see the miscommunication. Copeland letting it go past. Just that sloppy defending, and Manu all over that, and just had Hyde to beat. Hyde stepped off his line, and one-on-one beats him, plays around him and beats him. And there are some substitutions here for MSI. Looks like Nayama stepped off, and get your confirmation of who stepped on. Agwe, I want to say, is number 19. I'll get that confirmation here. Agui, sorry. Yeah, it is number 19, Agui. Hassan leaves it for Spheres. Spheres sends in the throw for Baker. Baker only to find Barnes, and now Barnes leaves it for Martini. Martini forced to go back to Daniel Yee. Yee. How the tides have turned as far as momentum. This could be the moment MSI is looking for. A through ball. Looking for Agui, but not able to find him. Gabora. See Merriam. Back to him. Now MSI is looking revitalized here. Daniel Yee looking for that cross, sends it in. Too much on that. And ultimately goes out for a goal kick restart. Bowleys is going to have to get back into this. Don't allow MSI to get life. MSI is going to be hoping Bowleys doesn't react the way they did. We'll see who. It's Gabora. Gabora does not risk it by playing it back to Pinedo. Sends it up sky high, and now it's a game of who wants it. Looks like it's Hassan who wants it. Dangler. A little sloppy of a pass right there, and a little mix-up Baker to go. Plays around Gabora. It's still Baker. Baker sends in the cross. Pinedo comes out, and Wessa was making the run, but Pinedo, confident in his abilities, collects the play. Now here comes MSI, and Myers plays in Barnes. Barnes is a race that he could not win. And now it's a goal kick restart for Austin Hyde. Austin Hyde to get us back underway here. Sends in the long ball. Bowleys keeps possession here. And referee says that's too much on the tackle. And here comes MSI. Barnes was brought down but bounced back up, and now Baker with a lovely move to beat two of the defenders. Now it's Baker. Baker has only the keeper to beat and sends a whiff of a shot and try to get it on the left foot. It's the right idea, just the wrong execution. I'd rather him take that 9 times out of 10 on the left than to cut back and look for his favored foot. Martini. Finding Gabora. And now the pressure's on from MSI. And that's a race that Barnes already lost. Long ball from Hyde on coast to coast. Actually, not just short of coast to coast. It's going to be a throw in here for MSI. It's going to be Gabora to take it. Finding Giannis. Myers to lose it, and it's Giannis who finds Manu again. Igwe plays them on. Austin Hyde forced to come off his line, and this time Austin reacts a little bit quicker, and that's the difference. Wind is picking up here at Renaissance. Only 7 minutes left of regulation here. Can MSI make the miracles happen here? Or will Bowleys open up their home game, their first home game with a win? Pinedo. Chan has been so active this game. Chan has time and space, plays it off to Manu. Manu tried to dump it off to Yee. Somehow ends up with the possession again, but then the through ball not able to connect with Meyer. And now it's going to be Bowleys on the front foot. Hit out of bounds by Gabora. MSI, a lot of traffic there. It does end up going their way for a throw-in. A long throw-in here. Igwe losing possession there, but wins himself a throw-in. Long ball, Martini. Martini under pressure. Myers flicks it over and has time and space. Is he going to play the ball? Opts for a shot and hide. Visions of that all the way through. Long ball for Hyde. Looking for Baker. Gabora flicks it over to his keeper. Pinedo puts it down and away MSI goes. Under a lot of pressure here from Bowleys. A turnover. Baker has a shot and finds the back of the net. That was an awful turnover, but Baker makes the best use of it. Turns a little touch and a golazo to the back of the net. Pinedo not able to do anything. Let's take a look at the replay here. Here comes the mistake. I mentioned a lot of traffic, and Bryson Baker actually doesn't even touch it, just turns and has a shot. Looked like there was a little bit of contact there from Horgan that forced the error, but that could have just been visually what it looks like, but it ultimately falls to the feet of Mr. Baker and finds the back of the net. Now it's a 4-2 game for Bowleys. And MSI again in a position that they need to climb up. A 2-goal differential. 4-2 is the score. MSI gets us underway. I will say this half MSI has looked a lot more threatening. Has had more shots on goal this half than I think I've seen in the last game. Martini. A 6-goal game. Not a bad thing for a Saturday night, UPSL night. Spheres, BP Spheres still on the hunt for his hat trick. Will we see it tonight? And now MSI with possession again. Machan not giving up possession that easy. Finding Martini. Martini opts to go out wide. Giannis sends in the cross. Is anyone home? Austin Hyde is. And just a little over 3 minutes left of regulation. We'll see how much is added here in stoppage time. I would gander to say not much. Wessa to Copeland, under a lot of pressure, but able to play out. And now here comes Bowleys. Through ball for Baker, but Gabora is there to collect. Now Daniel Yee, what doesn't he play? Filling in for the center back role for right now. And now Myers is there, but Austin Hyde is too. Hyde does well to come off his line there. Now MSI losing possession, and Wessa does well to win it here. It's still Wessa. It's someone that's not really easy to take the ball off of. Does lose it, and Barnes is offsides there. And Barnes is not happy with the call. Referee picked the flag up as soon as Barnes had touch to it. And now MSI get us back underway. There was another substitution for MSI, and it was number 14. I will get you the name here, but there was a foul, and Meyer went down, and referee called the foul. It's going to be MSI with the restart. Number 14, Ochoa, has made his way onto the field. I must have missed it, but it looked like cross in, but sent in. Service just to collect by Austin, and Austin dove just to make sure. He had full possession of it. A restart for Baker, but not able to control it here. Looked like Ochoa came in for Manu, who opened up the scoring for MSI before Myers was the second scorer. Daniel Yee not able to get to it. Now it's going to be Bowleys here with Wessa. Nope, I lied. That was not Wessa. Was there another? Yes, there was another substitution. I'll get you that confirmation here in a second as MSI quickly gets us underway here. Cuts back, sends in the through ball. Myers goes for it. Can he cut back and find a pass? He finds Barnes. Barnes opts to take a touch instead of sending it in. Finally gets it off. Ochoa not able to control it. But Martini, and the shot by Yee, just too much on it and goes out of bounds for Austin to restart us here. And we have reached the end of regulation. The clock is still ticking, so seems like there is at least a bare minimum of a minute at it. And remember, any minutes added at the end of regulation are just minimums. It could go beyond anything that the referee adds, if they deemed. Under pressure, Dangler, cold as ice, and here comes, is this the hat trick we've been waiting on? A beautiful pass, but it was cut out well by Nachan. Barnes might have gotten a touch to it, and that is offsides here. We just a step offsides here. It was Dorby who came in. Number 27 is Dorby right now. We try to play in Wessa. Wessa with a lovely shield, but not able to get to it before it goes out of bounds. And now it's going to be an MSI throw in with Daniel Yee. Yee, who's been absolutely phenomenal for MSI. Martini. Ochoa with a lovely little move there. Keeps possession. It's Daniel Yee finding Martini. Martini opts to go out wide. Sally Miriam opts to play it to Giannis. Giannis scanning. Not able to get past Dorby. And now here comes Bowleys. A great tackle from Giannis. And now Daniel Yee. I should call him the Yeaster, right? Oh, lovely little flick on for Barnes. And now Barnes sends in the cross. It was offsides nonetheless, but that was a great moment for MSI. You're kind of wishing if you're MSI for that moment back. Whether you're offsides or not, you're just half step too late. Couldn't even make contact. Austin sending it down the field. Baker almost. Nieto does well to get to it. Hassan getting tangled up with Barnes. Comes out the better of the two. And now that is all the referee wrote. MSI falls short. Bowleys does well to win the game here. It's a 4-2 result. MSI saw a little bit of life heading into this later stage of the second half. MSI did look a lot more threatening than they did in their last game. Had a lot more opportunities. had some clinical moments where they were able to beat Hyde, but ultimately Bowleys found it in themselves to answer every single time. And for tonight's result, it's a 4-2 win for Bowleys. I'm Gio. He's Dono. This is DMV Sports Media. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in and hit that notification bell as we have 3 matches tomorrow. So we'll see you all in the chat, and thank you all those for tuning in. Have a good night.